Martin's pendulum experiment shown here is a beautiful demonstration of the phenomenon of resonance. Resonance is universal in nature. A child swinging on a swing uses resonance without realizing it. Modern MRI scanners use it to image the human body, and the color of objects as we see them depends upon the resonance between the light frequency and the atomic energy levels. In the experimental setup shown here, two oscillators of different frequencies are coupled to an array of oscillators via loaded strings. Each oscillator in the array has a different length and therefore oscillates at a slightly different frequency from the others. Although all the oscillators are coupled to the two main oscillators, the disturbance in the array occurs in two small regions alone, corresponding to the places where the frequency of an array oscillator matches with the frequency of one of the two main oscillators. The oscillators that are far away from the resonance frequency remain stationary and do not pick up any energy. This experimental setup can be used to explore different aspects of the phenomena of resonance in a physics laboratory. This is just one of the many brilliant experiments created by one of India's finest experimentalists.
Standards in scientific research. But the question on everyone's mind was, where would the scientific personnel come from? This was a real concern. Science departments of universities, the breeding ground for future scientists, were struggling with falling standards of education, poorly equipped laboratories, and uninspired teaching methods. Into this setting came an experimental scientist determined to change the way physics was taught in college and university laboratories in the country. Letting go of his job at one of India's most prestigious research institutions, he arrived at the University of Rajasthan in 1965 with a truckload of equipment and ideas. This is the story of Babulal Saraf, physicist, scientist, master experimenter.
मैंने 10 वर्ष काम किया, तब तक मैं एक्सपेरिमेंटल वर्क ही करता था। मैंने 10 वर्ष में 4 पेपर छापे वहाँ से। They were very poor quality work. तो मैंने ये रियलाइज किया कि हिंदुस्तान में क्वालिटी का काम क्यों नहीं होता। उन दिनों में फिजिकल रिव्यू में कोई पेपर छपता नहीं था, एक्सपेरिमेंट वर्क तो छपता नहीं था। तो मुझे ऐसा लगा कि मेरे को एजुकेशन में जाना चाहिए।
Dr. Homi Bhabha, then the head of BARC, understood the importance of scientists teaching in universities, and he supported Babulal Saraf's decision. But more unusually, he also gave him permission to take all his laboratory materials with him.
That is a unique example in the whole country, जब भी एक्सपेरिमेंटल वर्कर अपनी लेबोरेटरी को अपने साथ ले जाने के लिए लिया गया, नहीं तो वो वेस्ट जाती।
In 1965, Babulal Saraf joined the University of Rajasthan as professor of physics. He had completed his graduation from Jaipur in 1947 and was familiar with the city and its streets. His drive to revive the physics department brought new energy to the university.
Immediately, the first priority he did was to revise the labs. The nuclear physics experiments were put in. The electronics experiments were revived. In fact, the conventional tube electronics were just fading out, and the transistors were on the scene. And as soon as I had done my MSc, I joined him as a research student. And the first task I did was to convert all pulsate analyzers, which were tube type.
तो सामान में बम्बई से लेके आया। जब मेरे बॉस ने कह दिया कि तुम सामान ले जा सकते हो, तो फिर मैंने वहाँ तबीयत से 4-6 महीने और छुट्टी बढ़ा करके लिया।
ये क्या
केमिकल्स हैं, डायोड्स हैं, अल्ट्रावायलेट गन्स हैं। एमएससी की लेबोरेटरी को भी खोल दिया, जैसे मैंने अभी खोला ना, इससे मेरे एमएससी के लड़के भी खोल सकते हैं। तो मेरी लेबोरेटरी जो है वो यूनिक हो गई, जैसे टंगस्टन वाले। लेबोरेटरी वर्क करने के अंदर समझ चाहिए और ये इन्वेंटरी बिल्डअप की ताकत चाहिए। अब इन्वेंटरी बिल्डअप में जो आदमी समझता है वो तो खरीद लेगा, इन लोगों को मजा आता है, जैसे सालमानी फोन करके चीजें ले लेते हैं, पर जिन्होंने किया नहीं काम उनको क्या पता।